What the fuck is this? I've never seen so many cars on this road before. What? As I was coming up here, I turned right onto the road, and and normally I just go in and then turn right, but the other way, another road must be closed. Another way, like, just all of the cars were turning onto this road. I have never, this is madness. What the absolute Jesus. This is absolutely crazy. We've reached the end. I have legitimately never seen so many cars in my fucking life on this road. That is absolutely crazy. One of the roads down there is closed, so everyone's either driven past that road to come down the way I'm going, or all these people are now forced to go along Death Road. And this bit here is the best single bit. Look at this car. You're fucked, mate. Turn around. But there's nothing I can do about it. You're gonna be late. You're Look, it's made my fucking day, this is brilliant. Oh my god. Isn't it great when shit like that doesn't happen to you, you know what I mean? Mental note not to go that way back home today. We'll go the other way. Because as well, everyone that was driven down that road wanted to turn right at the end of it, and it's difficult to turn right because A, you've got people coming from the right hand side all wanting to turn left, so you can't see behind them to see if one's going to go straight on. You've got people like me coming from the left, not understanding why people are getting angsty because they've been sat there for several hours. Walk past a lovely puddle of sick there. Lovely. Otherwise though, ladies and gentlemen, what's been going on? The weather today, by the way, is absolutely fucking gorgeous. It's delicious today. I got up at 6, although I need to figure out how to snooze my alarm because I just turned it off and then blinked my eyes and then Laura's alarm was going off. Obviously I went to bed at 1 last night, not 12. So I mean like going to bed consecutively at 12 o'clock is enough to ruin me because I don't do it often enough. When I do it, I struggle. So doing a 12 and a 1 probably going to hit me quite hard today, but that's not the point. Come on, we're going to do it. The plan of attack is to wait, what? Yeah, so I got up at 15:15, got ready, headed on out. About normal time, maybe just like 5 minutes late. I normally get up at 6, so that's not too bad. Just come to this, I just needs to go to the loo. And like, this building's on fucking lockdown, this entire floor's locked. And the cleaner just let me through. Does that mean I'm not going to be able to get out again? Wait. The toilet in the library was out of order the other day. So I thought, I'll swing by Chancellor's building and go to the toilet there instead. Because I always need to. It's a problem with having a cup of tea and orange juice. Hey! Assuming. Hey! The problem with having a cup of tea and orange juice in the morning is like, I had to downgrade myself from my big mug of tea to my small mug of tea. Because otherwise. Anyway. Because otherwise I can't make it. And if I get stuck in traffic. Anyway. And then obviously I got stuck in traffic today. But not much traffic. So, otherwise, plan of attack for today, ladies and gentlemen, is to proofread my dissertation. I'm going to do that in 2 different ways, because I'm going to experiment. I'm going to spend the first hour in the library, now, reading through it like on the laptop, in laptop mode, and like normal, you know what I mean? Like how you would expect to read it on a laptop. Then in the lecture, I'm going to take the screen off, and I'm going to get the PDF, and I'm going to like scroll notes on it, and then fix them later. I'm basically going to do a bit of an experiment to figure out what's the most efficient way of doing it, and then that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the document. I don't know whether it's going to be, it's better to like go over it then fix it, or fix it as you go. So, after this first pass I'm going to print it, and then I'm going to hand it to Laura to do it as well. So it's going to be fun. Well, I've also got to think about grammar. That's my biggest flaw. And I'm now heading to the lecture. I find it difficult to believe that it's going to be more efficient taking the PDF than going through the Word document itself. The problem with going through the Word document is it encourages you to make more changes than you otherwise would. One thing though, with this, I wish this pen could be attached to that side. Because like, you want to hold it in your left hand, so you can use the pen in your right hand. So it feels weird. Like it seems illogical to stick it to the left-hand side of the board and not be able to stick it to both, or even just the right one. Last to leave the lecture theatre, probably because I was just sat there doing my dissertation for the whole thing. I'm going to try and locate a room so that I can carry on. Triple checking your eye. It just must be the light reflecting on you. Yeah, doesn't look like this room's being used. Let's use this one, eh? Do some work without being around people, being distracted. This room is actually booked for the next 2 hours, but it's a lecture and no one's here. So, make the most of it. Oh, bloody hell. This is a good work. A group's coming in, it's like practicing doing presentations and stuff. I've just come out to stretch my legs a bit. I'm thinking soldier on to the end of market research, then go and have lunch in the lab. Because I think this room, I lose the room, basically.
Coffee just in the side sentence.
Making some good amounts of progress. I'm now heading to the lab to go and have my lunch and then carry on working. I mean, it's good progress, but it's going to take me a long time. It's my supervisor. And I'm maybe a quarter of the way through, maybe. Although I think it kind of starts off relatively poor, then gets like considerably better, and then maybe tails off again. So I might get to the point where it starts to become easier. I don't know. I'm hoping. But yeah, I'm still technically midway through the market research, on page 20 odd, and I keep like finding bits and then splitting it out and explaining it better in a different paragraph and all that kind of stuff. It's not a case of going through and just checking grammar. This check is responsible for a lot more technical checks. Inch over, and I'm now on page 25 of 72-3-ish, so I'm a third of the way through. Though I have thought of another section I could add if I want to. It's going to be a long day, it really is. I'm going to have a late night tonight. I've been worried about how like I have very little in the way of actual results. Because my platform is essentially like half a year into a 5-year long development cycle. It exists and it works, but it doesn't achieve the master plan that like I kind of set out that it would do. So I'm trying to manage expectations of that, to be honest with you. But I've just realised that actually in the beginning couple of sections I describe a problem and I show an example where this certain method of unit test analysis doesn't pick up a problem, but there is several problems. But I think my mutation system will be able to pick up that problem. So I'm going to demo that in the results section. I think that's what we're going to do. So anyway, I've got a lecture. Bloody hell, look at how lovely this weather is, man. Final cryptography lecture finished, and we have, what have we done? I've reached page 30 of my dissertation on proofreading, just short of halfway, although the additions that I've made to it so far have also bumped everything a little bit further forward. So I think I've now got, I haven't actually looked, but I think I've added about 5 pages on somehow. Could be because of like tables and diagrams that have been shifted around badly. I obviously haven't discovered yet because I haven't scrolled down. I've got some water and I'm going to drive home in this lovely weather to go and carry on doing more work. I'm not certain what to do. Like, should I go in the car and listen to music with the windows down because it's nice and warm and sunny, or do I put the windows up and listen to a podcast? Having said that, it's not actually warm, it's just sunny. So the wind's cold, the air is quite cool, but the sun's hot, which means the car's going to feel a bit like a greenhouse, and yet thingy. Also, I've got to remember to go a different way back. I'm thinking podcast. I've just got back in, and it's snowing. Not sure if you can see that, but that is snow or sleet. I left campus with the windows down, and like the my sunglasses on. Fucking hell, eh? Global warming, what a bitch. Well, I've just turned that this on. I've been enjoying listening to my podcasts on the way home. I've had a nice break. I'm now going to make myself a cup of tea and then get back into reviewing my dissertation and stuff. I'm forging my way forward up until the results part. Like just before the conclusion, I'm going to write in a results part. I think it'll only be brief. I may also have to do a bit of work, a bit of like, well, not work per se, but like some development work will be required in order to I have to do a little bit of programming in order to get like the results out, to get like, the right results out and stuff. I think it'll literally just be, well, I need to create the thing that I'm going to test, but the thing it shouldn't take me long, it's just a bit of programming to do. It's not like I can just go into it and write. Christ. Right then. Let's get into it again then, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, progress is being forged on still. In the afternoon before Laura got back, I finished up to chapter 3. Up to chapter 6, which is up to the end of the requirements in my final year project. I managed to get that printed, and Laura's doing me a huge favour and is helping me refine my second draft into a third draft. So she's been reading through it and like making notes and changes on it, which is great. And meanwhile, I have been pushing forward. I'm now on page 48 of 74. We had dinner, and then went off and did some more work, and then we had like half an hour out to watch some an hour out to watch some YouTube videos and watch the news together, and then, because we're old, Laura's just gone to bed and I've been pushing forward again. I'm on page 48 of 74 pages of content, although a number of the pages coming up now have code on it and stuff, so I don't have that many pages of code to stuff to read. I have like slightly less than that, so we're on the home straight. I know for a fact that the conclusions are going to need a decent amount of rewriting. The reason this is taking so much longer, Laura's catching up with me ridiculously, is because I'm kind of rewriting a lot of it. As I go, I'm like, that bit there, let's do this. Like, especially some of the earlier parts, which I'd written like a month ago. I've now kind of changed my mind of like how I'm trying to emphasise different things than I was necessarily trying to emphasise a month ago when I first initially wrote it. Now I had to restructure that. As I'm pushing forward into the most recently written stuff, it's going to be more and more relevant until the conclusion, which I think I wrote in a state where I wasn't like I wasn't producing my best stuff. I'm anticipating that is going to be it's going to need rewriting essentially. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 11 o'clock, 11:15. It's not 11:15, it's 11:20. I'm now forging forward still. I want to get to the end of the document, I want to get to the end of the conclusions. I want to get it all second drafted and nice, and then I'm going to go to bed. I don't have lectures tomorrow. I want to be able to print this off and give it to Laura so that she can do it in her free time tomorrow. It's just like, it's a better use of her time to do that, and then in theory tomorrow evening I'll be able to go through all the changes that she suggested, finish off the third draft, and submit it on Thursday. So that's my plan of attack, ladies and gentlemen. Deadline's Friday as well. There is another section I want to do, the results section. My plan of attack is to finish up to the conclusion, go past the conclusion, assess what time it is. If it's a reasonable time, i.e. not 2 in the morning, I will look into doing the results section now. And what I basically want to do is I want to finish the document without it and then consider adding it in. While Laura's reading this through tomorrow, like, I can't particularly do much for the dissertation anymore, so it makes sense to like hold something back that I might be able to then do, and then it's only a very quick section for Laura to quickly read through tomorrow night. Obviously if I can get it done tonight, then that would be grandiose. So I've got like 24 pages to go ish, 26 pages to go. I've saved my cookie. Let's do this. So moving around a bit, I'm working on Atlas at the moment, but then at some point I'm going to move into here onto my laptop and put my headphones on instead. So I feel like I'm chasing a moving target here. Like, I'm currently on page 55, so I've stepped forward 6 pages, 7 pages, but it's now 76 pages long, so it's just getting longer and longer as I move forward and forward and forward. It's 20 to 1 at the moment. I'm going to be honest, like, I'm feeling tired. I'm not really used to these late nights anymore, and that's the main problem. Like, you have to turn it into a habit. It's possible. I used to be able to function off 6 hours sleep easily, just night on night on night, and then I'd have 7 hours at the weekend or something. But then, like, as soon as you lose the habit, you like, you're fine for the first couple of days and then you start to flag. Don't think it's going to be very wise of me to do the conclusion or the results tonight. I'm thinking I'm going to push to the end of implementation process and testing, get that printed, get it given to Laura, and then tomorrow when I'm fresher, I'll be able to do the other 2 sections. The reason that I don't want to do those sections now is because I know that those sections, obviously one of them hasn't been written yet at all, I know those sections are both going to require decent rewrites, and one of the sections required a decent rewrite because it was done at a time when I was like this, when I was like a little bit tired and not very good at writing. Although I feel like I'm probably a bit better at proofreading things, because I read it and then reread it and go like, because I'm a little bit slower mentally and because I'm like bored, I'm like read it and then it doesn't really make sense to me, so I read it again, and then that kind of like double processing is essentially meaning that I'm going over everything like twice, and with a much finer tooth comb. I feel like I'm making it more understandable by making it understandable to me now. But either way, I'm making myself a cup of tea, and I'm going to have a cookie, and I'm going to fight through. I've got to the mutation bit, which we remember took a decent amount of time. Like, I know for a fact that on this bit there's literally like 3 pages of these 55, of these like 70. There are 3 pages that are basically all the code and a diagram. So, and because I've been like bumping everything down, all the formatting's gone to shit. So there are several occasions where, like, because the code won't fit on this page anymore, it's bumped onto the other page, so there's a huge gap where it used to be, and then that's obviously had a knock-on effect on everything else after it. So, but yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun. I'm thinking probably bed about 1:30, 2ish. At this rate. Like I say, tomorrow can be spent doing the newer bits, and hopefully I've given Laura enough to like keep her busy. Like, she is busy. She doesn't really have much to do at the moment because like it's her last week, so they're not really giving her much to do. So I'm trying to make the most of her, make the most of her free time. She's really good at like proofreading things. Like, I'm good at proofreading things to make them understandable. I'm not very good at proofreading things for grammar because I'm very informal when I write things. Like, there's many, like Laura said, you're doing what you do when you're daily vlogs. Like, I start saying we, like, and this is, we realised, who's we? I say to you, like, what are we doing today? We're not doing anything. I'm doing stuff, but I'm taking you with me. But I do that in my report. It's really bad. But I never noticed that. Because, I don't know, I feel I'm not very good at that kind of thing. It's not a very good thing to be not very good at, to be fair, but I'm not, it doesn't matter to me as much as it mattered to Laura. Laura obviously did law and was marked much more strictly on writing style than I will be. Touch wood. Time to go to bed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting a bit sloppy. Look at this. This is chapter 7 on its own. It's ridiculous. Chapter 7 is almost as big as the rest of the document, which is now all there. Oh, Laura's an absolute babe. She really is. But otherwise, I'm going to head off to bed, ladies and gentlemen. I've gotten to the point where, like, the work I'm doing is sloppy again because it's too late. So going to bed, getting up early, get on it again tomorrow. I'm not in the position I wanted to be in, but it means that tomorrow's just going to be spent more on this than on other stuff. So this fucking dissertation, man, it's going to kill me. The thing is, as well, it's like, it's considering how much time I'm spending on this and how close it is to the deadline, essentially. But like, how much time have I spent on this project in in general. I wish I'd kept some kind of like stop clock on that. That'd been bloody incredible. Anyway, it's late. I'll catch you later.